Hey everybody, I want to do a little follow-up on the vlogs I've been doing, predictions for the next couple of years based on Uranus and Gemini, and I also did the UK chart. And someone said there's a lot of doom and gloom. Where's the positivity? What's going on that we can really feel good about, because there is a lot of negativity, right? I've talked about the possible IMF bailout and the economy going sideways in the UK, and I've also talked about accelerationism towards 2030 and fragmentation between all the political parties. So let's talk about why this is positive. So let's go back to my analogy about the Titanic. This applies to a lot of the Western nations where they've got to keep the facade going so no one panics. So yes, there's some trouble on the Titanic, but we've got to keep the sports ball going. People are going to Oasis concerts. People are going to Glastonbury watching Wimbledon. Yeah, we've got to keep that facade going. But that facade is cracking. People are beginning to feel the ship listing. And I notice now in the last month, more awakening than ever. Even across the scale, from the normies to the people who are fairly well off, they're all noticing something's deeply wrong. And it's because the attack on us, attack on our nations and the individuals and the citizens of the nations and the people of the world as a whole is so multi-pronged that everyone's getting hit in some way. You'll get people that aren't so worried about the whole climate change. Maybe they buy that, but maybe they're really concerned about mass migration. You'll get people who maybe aren't concerned about mass migration, but maybe they're concerned about what's going on in terms of geopolitics and foreign policy with the particular governments. Maybe they're more worried about the cost of living. Other people may not be so concerned for themselves because they're fairly affluent, but maybe they're concerned for their children, their grandchildren. What sort of lives will they have? Will they afford a house? So everyone's being impacted in some way, and it's becoming more and more and more noticeable, right? So part of the accelerationism in terms of the economy, the digital psyops that are going on, trying to enforce sort of doctor in your wallet, central bank digital currencies, more surveillance, more censorship, is the danger in all of that is while it speeds up, more and more people notice, the level of unpredictability goes through the roof. And that is where the danger is for them. Some people say it's the 1%. I think it's smaller than the 1%, but we know there's a group of people, whether you want to call them globalists or whatever you want to call them. We know that they're people that have their hands on the levers of power. But as things get more chaotic, as more people notice, as more people get restless, dissatisfied, angry, and more people start rebelling, typically the more law-abiding people who would have gone on before quite happily and politely in society are beginning to get angry. It becomes extremely unpredictable for them. It becomes potentially unmanageable for them. It may unravel so quickly that they lose control of the whole thing, and that's what I think is going to happen. So the big positive in all of this is the momentum is bad for them. As it speeds up, they become victims of their own success. More people notice, more people resist, more people across the board begin to understand that this is not working, and therefore people's ingenuity and creativity kick in. Because Mercury, Uranus in Gemini is also about creativity, ingenuity. So the more that people are understanding that things are wrong, the more their survival instincts kick in. They become ingenious at finding solutions. They network more, they socialize more, and this is where the big positive is. By the way, I mentioned in my UK chart about how there's the net zero and the crony capitalism and the huge amount of money with subsidies with net zero was a big part of the economy. Well, I've got a little tweet that I want to put there that'll just encapsulate that for you and prove that for you, just in case you were in any doubt. Hope you guys have a great time. Remember, if you want a reading, check out below. You can purchase one through eBay or through me directly. And I also have an opportunity to chat through WhatsApp if you want an interaction with me, right? So there's loads of ways for me to contact you, to do readings and different sorts of readings. So please get in touch. As I say, details down there in the comments, and they should be with every video. So if you're interested in that, great. Tweeted out an interview I did with Ask the Answer podcast. It's a little bit about my background, how astrology kind of chose me, and my, I call it serendipity, destiny, whatever you want to call it. If you want to have a look at that podcast, it's on Spotify. You may be interested. Have a great weekend. Hope that is a little bit uplifting.